Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Kwan, and I'm a taxi driver here in Hong Kong. I've got a story for you tonight, something that happened to me a few years ago when I was still pretty new at the job. Now, I'll be honest, I've never been one to believe in ghosts or gods or anything of that sort. But after that night, I started to question things. And maybe, just maybe, you will too. I remember it was late, real late, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. I was doing the night shift, driving a Westerner out to Saigon. The roads were quiet, nearly deserted, and the city lights had faded behind us. I wasn't too familiar with the area yet. I'd only been driving the taxi for a few months at this point, so I let the passenger guide me with directions. Eventually, he led me down this narrow, winding road. No streetlights, no signs. There was only thick brush on either side, and my headlights cutting through the dark like a knife. It was the kind of area where the GPS just gives up. Now, I'm not a paranoid guy, but I was a little on edge. You never know, right? But he seemed normal, a foreigner living out in the countryside. Probably peaceful, didn't seem like the type to cause any trouble. Still, I kept my guard up. It's not uncommon for thieves to ask taxi drivers to drive them out to the sticks and then rob them for everything they have. Finally, we arrive at a small cluster of village houses. That's where he said he lived. He paid me the fare, thanked me, and got out. I turned the taxi around, ready to head back to Clearwater Bay. And that's when nature called. It was so late, and the area was dead quiet, aside from the sound of crickets. So I figured there's no harm in taking a quick leak by the roadside. I pulled the cab over on the side of a dirt road. I get out of the cab. I walk maybe 10 feet towards the edge of the forest. That's when I noticed something strange. Just a few feet away from me, hidden behind the tall grass, was an old, rusted gate. It was locked shut with a thick chain, and the whole thing was covered with ivy. Looks like it hasn't been touched in years. Beyond the gate, there was an old, abandoned village house. The windows were shattered, the walls crumbling. The roof looked like it could cave in at any moment. No lights, no life. It was totally dilapidated. I did my business quickly, keeping one ear on the forest and the other on my cab. You see, I kept some cash in the car. I didn't want anyone sneaking in and taking off with my night's earnings. But it was dead silent. Not a single sound out of place. Also, we were in the middle of nowhere. It would be hard for anyone to sneak around without me hearing them. I zipped up, turned back toward the taxi, and hopped in. The moment that I reached for the seatbelt, I noticed someone was already sitting in the back seat. I froze. My blood turned ice cold. I had just been outside, barely 10 feet from the car. If anyone had opened the door or closed it, I would have heard it. There was no mistake. I'd been listening. But there he was. A man, maybe in his 30s, wearing a white dress shirt, dark trousers, pale face, thin frame. His expression? Blank. Emotionless. He just sat there, staring straight ahead, didn't say a word. Every hair on my arm stood up. I twisted around in my seat, staring right at him, trying to make sense of it all. Finally, I managed to speak. My voice was shaky. I asked, Sir, where can I take you? He turned to me slowly and said, Bolam. Now, I wasn't familiar with how to get here. I told him as much. But he just continued looking straight at me and said, Don't worry, I'll guide you. So I started driving. He gave calm, clear directions. Left, right, straight. No small talk, no expressions. I kept looking back at him through the rearview mirror because I thought of how strange the whole situation was. The whole time, aside from him giving me the occasional turning directions, he just stared out the window in silence. Eventually, we reach a long stretch of secluded mountain road. No houses, no shops, just rocks, trees, and the dark forest all around. That's when he said, Stop here. This is where I can get out. I pulled over. There was nothing around. No buildings. Not even a sidewalk for pedestrians to walk on. The meter read $29. He handed me three $10 bills, told me to keep the change. Then, without a word, he stepped out of the car. Just like that. Gone into the night. I took the money into my tray and drove on. I only went a few feet. I saw a minibus stop and pulled over. Curiosity got the best of me. I looked back. The passenger was nowhere to be found. No lights, no figure in the distance, just darkness. I turned the cab around, drove back to where I dropped him off. Nothing. No houses, no pathways, no sign of life. Just forest and rocks. There's no way he could have gone anywhere that fast. I sat there, feeling strange and uneasy. That's when I remembered the money. Earlier in the night, I had exactly one $10 bill left after paying a toll. The passenger gave me 3 more. That should make 4. I keep my bills very organized in the tray beside me. Each denomination had its own spot. I keep it this way for ease of access when giving change back to customers. So I opened the tray, and there was only one $10 bill. I checked every slot. Nothing. I took out my flashlight and checked under the tray, under my seat, even under the floor mat. Those 3 bills were gone. They vanished, just like that man. Afterwards, I told some of the other cab drivers what happened. They listened quietly, and then told me something I still think about to this day. You picked up a ghost, man. Your luck must be down. You should go to the temple to boost it back up. I used to laugh at stories like that, but not anymore. Now, whenever I drive past that part of Saigon, I keep my windows up, and I never stop the car. Even now, I still don't know exactly what happened that day. If any of you viewers have an idea, please let me know in the comments below.